All right, folks, the deck is Blackrock and Roll Warrior. The goal of the deck is to play a bunch of spells in the early game to keep the board clear so that we don't die, and work our way towards a Naga Giant or a Molten Giant if we have a low health total after playing the Blackrock and Roll, which will add a bunch of stats to each of those, play charge on them, and bash our opponent in the face. Now, if that fails, if we do happen to draw them, we've got a backup plan in both Lor'themar Theron and Trenchstalker, as well as Dead Man's Hand to shuffle some of these key minions back into our deck so that they can receive the buff. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can catch me live at twitch.tv/Roffle or here on YouTube. All right. Let's see how this goes. I'll be happy if we can pull this off even just a few times.
Why is the stream starting as I am going to work? I demanded there to be no gameplay for 9 hours.
Sure, we'll just put things on pause until you're done.
Let your penance begin.
Thank you, Chicken Lord, for the super chat. Hope you have a good day. I have barely lost any games in my standard climb with a variety of decks, so I think ooh, this'll be fun. I went on like a 20+ game win streak for quite a while with 2 separate decks. And now that the expansion is out, I finally stopped queuing into bots, which is nice. Okay, well, it's one card that we really don't want. So you're a professional standard player. No, I'm an experienced Hearthstone player who is probably playing against opponents that have not played the game as long as I have. I don't have like a bonus stars as I'm climbing from standard, so it's like really slow, and my MMR is probably just like, I don't know, not in kind of a weird spot. Well, I do have the Dead Man's Hand, so I can use that to shuffle things back. And does that mean I'm gonna get hit by something dumb like a plate breaker? Jeez, I drew literally all of my minions, almost. And well, there's the charge. It would have been nice. That didn't come off the ETC. It got completely creamed with Overload Shaman. Went like 23%. I mean, what you're into on your personal time is your own business. You don't need to share that with us. I was literally the only one I wanted to kill. That's a bummer.
Very nice.
It's also almost all of my AoE. That is the card off of the ETC, though, I believe. You think ETC should be used specifically for countering popular decks or be used to enhance your strategy in different matchups? I think he should be used... Not at all. Fun and interactive? Are you really... really complaining about bizarre burglary thief rogue? That's your fun and interactive?
Job done.
Oh, some of you are all so very silly. I'm okay just burning a card here. Like, yeah, it's a bummer if it ends up being exactly the Blackrock and roll that I'm looking for. If they take the dead mans, I probably can't combo. Well, I probably can still, actually. And full. I'm well aware of that. There was no card that was worth throwing away there. Because I want the coin, and throwing away the slam makes me draw a card. Cool. It was literally the only card in my deck that mattered. It was not a concern to burn a card other than that card. Unfortunate that I got unlucky.
Denatrius versus Maiev.
None can escape my fury.
Let your penance begin.
The drum kit can help set up the Blackrock and roll. I think I just keep this hand. It's greedy. We probably lose to anything aggressive, but it's fine.
The Roffle Coptigos Sarah True Soimem, Choices es Vuda Vumem Si Vumem Etlui Mem, Vumem, Avumem, Soimem Soimem Soimem.
Is the Rafflecopter French?
Never bring a sword.
Because that's news to me. Thank you, James, for the super chat.
Pirates away!
I don't think we're playing an on-curve Blackrock and roll.
Scream for me. Scream for me.
Next turn we can hero power attack and should be able to clear the board. Ideally we get like a armor gain card. Or we could simply just brawl here.
Scream for me.
Do I take the 2? I just need to survive for like one more turn to get the Rokara field shatter, but I don't have anything playable next turn.
What to do? What? Scream for me.
I think I died to too many things if I don't do this. Hold that for next turn. I think we might be able to stabilize here.
Trust the pirate's code.
Jesus. Close. Problem is that doesn't die to the Shatter anymore.
No force on Azeroth can stop
So
me.
I have to bash into it after I clear.
Unstoppable.
There be no treasure 6 feet under. Rise me, Hercules!
Is this even a hand that I want to Deadman's right now?
Let's see.
I don't think so. I should have gained the armor during the Warpath thing.
Give me that! Not what I want!
It's a pretty sweet looking animation at least.
Amazing.
Alright, any source of damage kills. So that could be the that lack of armor gain could be the difference here. It was.
Roffle copter goes soy 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 at at.
Why did you start shooting a gun at the end? Thank you, James. Glad that one worked.
Denathrias versus Brawl.
For Doomhammer, let your penance begin.
Hope you play an OTK deck.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
The baby bearing chatters have arrived. Welcome, Michael. I really feel like it's necessary to take 3 for a few turns when I just have a Brawl. To, like, clean up any follow-ups. I don't know why the Totemic Surge was used there. From your experience, what do you consider the best way to grow as a beginning Hearthstone streamer? Focus on the content that people can see when you're not live. as you're trying to grow a stream, some of the worst use of your time would be spent on streaming, ironically, because if nobody's there, you're not going to grow simply by pressing the go live button. It's generally better to make content off of other platforms or on other platforms and get the people that see that content onto your live streams. Probably just kill everything but the amalgam here. They don't develop too much, we might be able to sneak into Blackrock and roll. But like, especially what YouTube, all live streams are very difficult to find. Twitch has no recommendation algorithm or no effective recommendation algorithm to get people that don't already know about your stream to find your stream, so like, just putting in hours on Twitch is not an effective strategy. It's an unfortunate time to draw the Molten Man. The new Voon and Warrior any good? Absolutely not, no. Probably have to brawl this. Definitely have to brawl this. And then pray we don't get super unlucky. Good God. Those are some good trick totems. Oh my God. Oh, I almost threw a fit when I saw that Giga Totem come out at the end. Hearthstone, TikToks, YouTube Shorts. I mean, that's maybe an easy short-term way to, because there's very little competition in it, but like, Hearthstone is a little bit unique in that like short-form content tends to do like, worse than long-form content. Kind of afraid of Devolve. So I think I hold back the big guy for charge. Is that crazy? I think it's just dumb. Zero mana 28/28 is just kind of good, right? I still have another Naga Giant if I really need it. And even if we get devolved, I just get 3 8/8s. Mountain Giants can be devolved. It used to be the case that they can't, but they have since changed it. So it'll just, like, reset its stats. It can be devolved into either another Molten Giant or the Naga Giant.
There is little time.
Consistency is also super important in successful streaming. You'll find you keep your audience quicker. That's true. Like, I think that applies to any and all content creation, right? Like, it's important to consistently be putting out content because more content or is just more opportunities for people to find your stuff. Surely we get a charge here, right?
No force on Azeroth can stop me.
I'm sorry. Was my Magnum Giant too massive for you?
Denathrias versus
Nature seeks balance in all
I'm considering just
Let
conceding
your
to druids
penance begin.
for the sake of my mental. Oops, I dropped my Magma Giant. Or my Magnum Giant for my Magnum deck, yeah. That's the more appropriate way to go about that. Maybe it'll be... I don't even know if I can win against Questline Druid. It's not... I'm gonna need to make some real big boys here. Considering coining this out just so that I can like pretend like the value I get off of the shield block matters. Okay, Quest Route is a bit more fun, I guess. I mean, it actually gives me a chance to, like, I don't just die on turn 5 or 6, so it gives me a chance to potentially set up here. Okay, we've got double charge. You have the dead man's at least. So even if they gain a bunch of armor, I can just, like, hit them for 56. Hey, welcome, Henry. Igneous Elemental's gonna be good in this deck. Probably not, no. Not for what I'm looking to do. You're welcome to add them to yourself, though. If you think so. Yeah, this looks like Corpse List. Probably just a Brawl here. Or I could go here, Hero Power, play the Shatter. Probably the wise choice.
How much of a warping effect does the current druid dominance have on the meta? Anecdotally, it feels like all non-druid is just hyper aggro rush down.
Yeah, that's probably the most reliable, because of Druid's effect is pretty similar to things that we saw with like Seedlock, where because the threat of the game just ending as soon as they hit the Twig Sphere, or the turn after they hit the Twig Sphere, like the window of the only way to reliably beat Druid, or one of the only ways to reliably beat Druid, is to get underneath them, and so hyper aggro does that. Unfortunately, the other option is Quest Mage, and just like generate a bunch of ice blocks and avoid dying that way.
Scream for me!
Welcome, Lilu. I mean, part of the reason you don't see slow decks is because Druid doesn't allow for slow decks, right? But it's kind of weird. You're describing the same problem. I'm just dead. The Dredge Dragon would be good in this deck for massive armor gain. I don't know what the Dredge Dragon is. But if I thought a card would be good for the deck, I would add it to the deck. I think they mean the Dredge 4-mana Igneous. That's not a dragon, that is an elemental. That's my confusion, I guess. Yeah, let's keep these two together. If it's even Shaman, the Drumkit is actually pretty decent. Igneous Lava Gorger. Yes, that's the one. Igneous Elemental is the neutral. Okay. Got a decent hand for that. I probably just want to kill that, though. I don't need to worry about getting value. I also kind of don't want to draw cards prior to the Lor'themar. Probably just coin a Drumkit next turn so I can get that ramping. Although, I could also just like slam into Warpath, and that's pretty clean. That allows me to save the coin for the Lor'themar. Lines up perfectly for me. Welcome, Bops.
Scream for me!
Naga Sea Witch could make for big turns. You mean for the opponent? After I spend 8 mana, do nothing, and then get bashed in the face? probably play that next turn with the Drumkit.
Charles has subscribed.
Yeah, thank you, Charles. Appreciate the support.
How many warriors does it take to change a light bulb? It doesn't matter, they can't climb the ladder. Wow.
Oh, thank you, Groma. Appreciate that. It's actually a good warrior bad meme. I don't think it's worth giving up the, like, I could Warpath here in exchange for 6 health. I don't think that's worth. I would just rather take the 6 and save the Warpath. This isn't the best order that we can do it in, but like we don't need the full damage. This is just like, I don't know, 16 worth of stuff is pretty good. We know that's a Murloc. Go ahead and trade this. Now we're talking. You're welcome, James. Like, if I didn't know this were a Murloc because of the ice fishing, I might have considered like removing stuff, playing the Brawl even, just to avoid just to avoid giving them like another opportunity at a spell buff. It's the only one I really wanted to die.
Scream for me!
I don't want the coin in there. Not that I think it matters all that much. But here's a 36 Molten Giant. Almost dead to Bloodlust, LOL. Yeah, it would be pretty funny if they were running that card in their deck. They have 0 mana Bloodlust that is permanent. They don't need. I guess I should have just played both Giants. Nah, we're good. Bop!
Denathrias versus Valera.
Stay in the shadows.
Let your penance speak.
Probably got to keep the Warpath against Rogue.
Job's done.
Great trade. Trade offer. I give you 1 heavy plate. I receive 1 heavy plate. This is probably pretty bad for me. Don't have the hand for this matchup. It's not like
Job's done.
my removal is pretty useless now. See you later, Michael. Yeah, this is... I mean, if we draw a on-curve Blackrock and roll, the Molten Giants will be pretty cheap. Roffle, you should run the weapon steal guy. No, fortunately, I have a functional brain, so I'm gonna not do that. Appreciate the suggestion, though.
Tuned to perfection.
Scream for me.
Could have added Death Warden. Go ahead and go back to my previous statement. Why? Why would you want ETC in?
Haha warrior.
You said it. Thank you, Sabretooth. That's pretty wild. I'm just doing this to reduce the cost of the Naga Giants here. But again, the clears don't really matter because, generally speaking at least, they don't run a whole lot of minions. Still winnable? I mean, they spent 4 mana to develop a 4/4, so... Yes. technically still winnable, but certainly not in a good spot.
No force on Azeroth can stop me! Unstoppable! Impossible!
Looks like Lifesteal was in the ETC. Do they run Blade Flurry? Generally, yeah. As well as Doomring. So, two Flurries, 2 Doomring is pretty typical.
Denathrias versus Lunara.
The forest fights back.
Let your penance begin.
Your thoughts on Tony Jailer Priest combo deck? I think that Jailer decks in Wild are extraordinarily fragile and not actually a win condition in most cases, so I wouldn't recommend that over just Mechathune.
Job's done.
Like, there are way too many ways to like just remove the Tony and swap back. Really need to find the Blackrock and Roll. Does Lor'themar not make the cut for this deck? I mean, that is self-evident. Really just looking for the Blackrock right now.
Job's done.
This is likely to be the only time I have set up for it.
Hey Roffle, did you remember to like the stream?
Of course I did. I wouldn't dream of not liking the stream. And I can't imagine anyone else would, because I would sue them. Thank you, Blonde Goat. This looks like the Tony version, so that's not good for me. Eventually we just kind of die. So I probably do have to hang on to the... There's just no reason to do that. I probably do have to hang on to the Dead Man's Hand a little bit longer than I normally would. You can consider doing deck building videos or live someday. I mean, I have in the past, but, like, it's not a very fun experience for me. Because I'm just constantly bombarded with, even as I'm explaining why cards are being added, I'm constantly bombarded with questions as to why certain cards aren't included. That's just, unfortunately, not very fun for me. Looks like we just die. This is officially the longest I've lived against this deck. This was turn 6, right? That's new, at least.
I'm running out of cards. I have no cards left.
Hey Roffle. To ensure the quality of chat, I'm wearing an electric shock collar, so if I ask a question that's been asked before, I will receive a shock. Have you considered the form Anu Elemental Igneous
Oh, thank you, Jolo. Please don't hurt yourself. That's dangerous to take on that challenge. Making decks, do you ever start with a net deck and alter it, or is it just all made as you go? I mean, it depends. I think in most cases, like, I don't know, taking a meta deck and altering it just usually makes it worse, and that's kind of uninteresting. Best super chat ever. That was a pretty good one. Some people seem to be well practiced in manipulating the text to speech in a way that funny.
Denatrius versus Tyrande.
Your path has brought you here.
Let your penance begin.
Hey, welcome, Narian. My day's going pretty well. How about yours? Ooh, don't really... Well... If this is Big Priest, what I can do is just, like, hold the Kodohide Drumkit for an obscenely long time and use that as a way to break through the taunt so that I can get the charge lethal. Can Blackrock and Roll show up as often as Lor'themar has? I mean, maybe one day. Eventually, right? We have the same odds of drawing them, so it's only a matter of time. Let's just do this. I'm not going to be able to use it next turn or need to use it next turn, so there's no reason to swing here. Okay, that's maybe a little alarming. This doesn't look like Big Priest anymore. Did Big Priest get a new card except for the legendary spell? Probably not, no. But I don't think you really want to run a card like Grave Digging for draw in Big Priest. But yeah, it's not Big Priest, there's no way. Just drawing cards in Big Priest is not really a good idea. Because you just want to discover the Shadow Essence and keep minions in your deck. Undead Big Priest. Big Priest does not want to run, again, card draw. Or Insight, especially.
Fabrics fit for Her Majesty.
It's like Inner Fire.
Team spirits be the best.
Or not. Maybe some sort of overheal. Could just brawl this. don't die. And even if this survives the brawl, we just still kill it. I didn't want to have to do this.
For me.
Alright. I think I have quite enough minions to justify a dead man's into Blackrock. Unless I start, you know, getting rid of more of my cards. Where is the Blackrock? No?
It is finished. You win.
It's annoying.
Denathrias versus Gul'dan.
Warlock, a little bit weird. Probably need to expect quest lines so that I can try and just hit the Blackrock early. Which has been very difficult to do so far. Roffle, how does Finley plus Blackrock work? Is it possible to double buff the cards in your deck?
Job's done.
How? What do you expect to happen when you? How would that double the buffs? Warlock, maybe.
More mischief?
These books are ruined.
Job's done. You play Blackrock, it is played, therefore gone. Yeah, that's my confusion. Like, I'm genuinely unsure what the expectation is. Job's done. Maybe they expect you to shuffle Blackrock with Dead Man's Hand first. The Blackrock into Molten Giant, 28-28. Then Finley and redraw the Molten Giant, 48-48. Why would it... Why would the... What does Finley have to do with the Blackrock being played?
The top shelf is extra.
Blood DK actually good now. I haven't played in a while. It is very strong in standard. Thought Blood DK was just control. That doesn't negate the fact that it's wrong. My God, am I having a stroke, or is chat just like not making sense? It can't be me, right?
Extraordinary.
Black Rock and Roll would be so much better if it was hand and deck and not just deck. That is true. That is true. Better cards are indeed better.
Finally! Minions that obey me! Mostly.
No force on Azeroth can
Is this gonna do 5 or 6? Looks like 6. Nice. Pretty good.
You hit like a wisp! More mischief?
No, I'm never gonna take enough damage to actually make that matter. Because I have too much armor. Casually running Death Imp? I mean, that's just a good card in a Porlock.
Why do you call?
Unstoppable!
Why aren't you playing clowns in Warrior deck? Because there are plenty of clowns in chat already.
Worry her? I don't even know her. Play me on.
Thank you, Zero Crap. Appreciate the super chat. Yeah, lethal also was not guaranteed there, but it probably was worth at least playing. Carnival Clan would actually be good, though. No, I have 0 ways to corrupt it.
Let your penance begin.
So it would not be good. Now, let's just keep the Brawl because it's likely even Shaman. I can coin the Brawl.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
For the sake of my sanity, chat, I desperately need you to be and say smarter things, please. We have a pretty good set of clears already.
It's the annual chat convention and I am here.
For those of you watching on YouTube, there were a bunch of clown emojis in that super chat, so thank you, Blanco. This is probably worth a clear, right? Since I have double Brawl. Seems like I got baited there. Fortunately, we do have the brawls. I would have rather had a 5-5 there.
I am the harvester.
This free super chat will finally give me the last $10 I need to pay off the mafia for that loan I took to pay for my puppy's cancer treatment. Just in time too, they were about to take my toes.
Ooh.
Smarter words. Ruminate noetic pensive, like this.
Yes. That sentence actually makes more sense than some of the things that have been said in my chat today. Thank you, Zero Crow. And thank you to Folos. I'm sure your dog will be fine.
What to do?
You just hire John Wick. I don't really like using these brawls here, but I also don't like dying. I hate even Shaman so much. Yeah, we just need to hit the other shield shatter here. Or just do this. Okay, now we just need to kill them.
I'm 7 moves ahead of
I was going to say something smart about why you don't include X or Y card in the deck you're playing, but then I remembered it's your deck. Wow.
Wow. Thank you, Hazardous, for the super chat.
predictable.
Job's done.
Yeah.
I hired John Wick, but all he did was cuddle my dog.
Yeah. He did his job then. Good. Good for you. Expected outcome. Thank you, Blonde Goat. I appreciate that as well, fellas.
This curse has become our greatest strength.
Does anyone else smell burnt toast? Anyway, you should add Shervala the Tiger to your deck.
Scream for me!
Thank you, Joel. If only we had a charge here, we would have gotten that.
Job's done. I surrender.
I do hate even Shaman, though. Have I mentioned that? I think a 0 mana 28/28 is kind of good. Yeah, but it took a little bit too long to get down.
Denathrias versus Tamsin.
Shadows take you.
Let your penance begin.
And it just seems like a full keep. Just keep eggs off the board so they don't take too much early game damage.
Sorry,
Probably want to point that out. There's no guarantee I go in on this next turn. It'll deal 3. Isn't quite enough to kill that. So, unlikely that I do.
Why do you call? Why do you call?
Turn we go here, hero power. That should be enough to clear. Why didn't they just play the bartender there? That was a lot of stats, wasn't it?
Scream for me!
I've got this into this as well as the Brawl. We're actually in a pretty good spot here, I think.
These books are ruined.
Probably just tempo out the Molten Giant.
Job's done.
No force on Azeroth can stop me. Unstoppable!
We're very good at winning without the combo.
Sorry, we don't have any ink.
Thank you for your service.
Fool! You've just set up an honorable kill for me.
You haven't heard the last of me.
I'll be right back.
Denatrius versus Valera.
I make my own.
Let your penance begin.
Here for a chat?
My warmest greetings to you.
Probably Kingsbane again, if I had to guess.
Armor! Armor!
Bill?
Lightly used armor!
I'm just gonna go hard on the read that it's mill and dump cards aggressively early on. Probably not the shield shatters though. Yeah, welcome, Deadly Archive.
Scream for me!
Welcome, Drac. Doing alright.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Okay, so it's just like an Astolor rogue. Which is going to be very hard for me to beat. Unless I draw the combo soon.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
I can't possibly die here, right? Because they can't actually get like the Astolor value. Michael, there are better ways to get attention.
You soon.
They have 2 of the armor gain. Wait, why would you do that?
Delightful.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Roffle, it is my birthday this year. I in fact know that because you've been spamming that for the past 3 streams that I've done here on YouTube, and I chose to ignore it because it wasn't funny a singular time.
Your enemy's close, and your shit is closer.
Thank you for helping me fall asleep every night.
I'm doing my part. Thank you, Nomic, for the super chat.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Yo, dog, I heard you like Astalor.
Scream for me!
Force on Azeroth can stop me.
You think Sticky Finger is a good include in Reno decks with the current meta? No. I do not. Opponent does, though. Hey, welcome, Matt.
Out of the kitchen and into the frying pan.
The shadows beckon.
Out of the kitchen and into the frying pan. Out of the kitchen and into the frying pan.
Our gift of frost shields us.
The shadows beckon.
This doesn't seem right. I feel like the opponent kind of wanted to use those record scratchers a little more effectively.
For a master tactician, this is nothing.
Michael, once again, you're embarrassing yourself.
Out of the kitchen and into the frying pan.
Our gift of fire empowers us.
You're doing a great disservice to the streamer that you're
Our gift of
supposedly
fire
promoting.
empowers us.
But if you'd like, I could happily ban you, since that seems to be what you're desperate for. Menagerie Warrior is a good deck? Yeah. I mean, this channel is very rarely about playing good decks.
Denathrias versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Let your penance begin.
Okay. We drew the card. Probably need to full keep this. Sticky Finger won that game, just saying. Sticky Finger actively contributed to them winning the game slower. I'm gonna lose my mind if people don't stop suggesting cards. Please stop.
An incredible discovery.
that. It's gonna be hard to be able to test for the counterspell. Maybe I wait until turn 7 so that I can
Scream for me!
go Deadman's into Blackrock. That swing was just to play around Rig Fair game.
Your signature is required.
Can I suggest a new card? Back?
Scream for me!
Thank you, Zero Crow. The Rig Fair game gets to go off here. It's not Rig Fair game. We know it's not Counterspell either. So unless a new secret comes down, we can just rip the Blackrock and roll.
Hey Roffle, please have patience with all the thalidomide babies in chat, me included.
You can't just go and make up words now. But thank you, Dick Ball Fondler. For your valued input.
I intend to deceive.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Well, so much for this Kodohide Drumkit.
Scream for me!
No force on Azeroth can stop me!
Right, I forget about the death rattle. I was like, why didn't the shatter clear? What's going on? My game's broken. And then I realized what happened.
You're not ready for this!
I need to find multiple minions is the problem, so I probably have to hold one of the non-big boys back.
Roffle, your vids have helped me recover from surgery a bit easier over these last few days. Couldn't wait for your next stream over the weekend. How has the state of Wild been while I was out?
Unfortunately not great, but happy to help in any way. Hope you get well soon, Onu. Thank you for the support.
It'll be our little secret.
Wild is a lot of druids at the moment, unfortunately. I think I use this to test for counter because I do want to draw a card off of this. Okay, so we go here, here. Again, hope your recovery goes well, Onu. Alright, now I probably have to start considering sending these upstairs if I can, so that I can avoid the Rig Fair game going off.
Oh, what's troubling you?
I haven't tested for objection. But I probably just have to do this, right? It was going to be too slow to wait for the Naga Giant. Fortunately, this is the outcome or the result of that.
I'm late.
The reason I had to do that was it just as easily could have been explosive runes, so.
Oh, what's troubling you?
Excuse me, you are on fire.
I intend to deceive.
Okay. Buckler Brawl.
When was the last time Wild was in a good state?
I mean, there have been periods. Renathal meta, maybe? Or pre-Renathal nerf. I don't know that Renathal himself was necessarily meta, but he slowed down the game a fair amount.
I'm with the cabal!
Have I seen both counterspells yet? No. Nor have I seen both objections. Or both rigged fair games. Looks like something that interacts with minions, so I need to hang on to this to block it. Although I guess I could tempo it if I really want to, because if it gets blocked, that means it's just the final objection. But I'd rather hold it just in case they develop another secret, because it could, again, be fair game explosive, and then they might play another secret in the future that is, in fact, the objection. This is not the way I want to win the game.
Here is some of my birthday money.
Thank you, Liquor. Appreciate the super chat. Happy birthday year.
I'm late. I'm late.
I'm just gonna let them draw here. I want to win with the combo. This might be a throw, but fine. I don't want to get them to a point where they concede.
I'm with the cabal!
You're not ready for this!
What once was cloudy shall become clear.
I'm out of cards.
Your signature is required.
Well, we just kind of win here anyway, right?
For a master tactician, this is nothing. Brawl.
Bonk! We sorta did it.
Well met.
Onu, thank you for the gifted sub.
Well met.
Seraphine Fleet Runner became a Tier 2 member.
Denatrias versus Tyrande.
Let your penance begin.
Keep these two and look for the Blackrock roll. Okay, well. Alright, maybe this is fine.
I heard if you super chat the exact amount left in your bank account, it will double. Hopefully this works.
Thank you, Hazardous Catalyst, for the $8.62. Unfortunately, you've been lied to. But I appreciate the support. Can you even stream multiple media sources to TikTok? I have no idea, actually. Technically, TikTok is like the one place I could multi-stream to if I really wanted to, but I don't. So, really have much interest in figuring out how TikTok works. Alright. I have a lot of removally stuff. I really just want to find the Blackrock, which... Who would have thunk it?
Nice.
Nice indeed. Thank you, Collie, for the $6.90. In my days, TikTok was a fairly bad song and nothing else. No need to go in so hard on Kesha like that.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you, Lulu. Also, nice. Thank you for the $6.90 tip. Alright, it looks like an undead Shadow Priest that just got a really bad start, so that's good for me. Leave me alone. Ow.
For me! Scream for me!
Next turn we are likely going to be facing down a rather large board, so Rokara into Shatter is going to be good.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Alright. Welcome, Titanium Tigers. I mean, there's no possible way to fix the way that both objection and counterspell interact with like Flare and Eater of Secrets, right? Because if they wait until the battle cry happens, then, well, I guess objection technically could. But Flare absolutely couldn't, because if they wait for the spell to resolve, then it wouldn't counter the spell, right? Like, it wouldn't do the thing that the card says. So, like, there's no way for counterspell specifically to not eat a Flare because of the words on the card. Because then it would have to apply to every other spell as well. So the spell that gets countered would resolve and then get countered. That doesn't make sense. It could, you could do like an after effect with objection where the battle cry resolves and then you like poof it, but like that just, it wouldn't work with counterspell. So you might not like the interactions, but they are correct. You counter every spell except Flare. I don't know, not a code guy. I mean, that just doesn't make, then the card doesn't do what the words on the card say, right? So you're making a singular exception. So what, the text on counterspell is counter the opponent's spell except for Flare, or counter the opponent's non-Flare spell. Kind of want to cycle this here. I'm going to. Alright, got some damage there. Hopefully, if you changed objection, as you say, would you also have to change Okani? I mean, no, because you would just not... like, you would basically have objection be like explosive runes, except for instead of a damage, it just does like a Reno poof effect, is how I would imagine that. Wild Growth has hidden text that says, if your mana is full, add excess mana to your hand. Potion of Illusion has hidden text that says, give the minion charge. Yeah. But neither of those are explicit carve-outs for a singular card in the game like it would be with Flare. I don't know. Did you say this deck is good for climbing ladder? Absolutely not. It is the warrior class, and therefore it is not. Also, it's not even, like, nearly optimized, nor is it meant to be good for climbing the ladder. 13 plus 16 is 29. We're a little bit short.
Welcome to the cult.
Unstoppable!
It doesn't kill them, but it does make us very resilient to a an Astalor. I wonder if Tight-Lip Witness has any chance of seeing playing wild. I mean, we saw one earlier today. It's just an omega bad card. As are nearly every single tech card in the video game.
I've got plenty of mojo to go around.
What? That's mine. Imagine if I was new and I played counterspell and it didn't counter a spell, I would be very confused. Yes, but the thing is, people don't think about how a change will impact their opponents. The person theoretically playing the counterspell, they only are concerned about how things impact them, the person playing the flare. Best case scenario is that the Force 3 survives for me. That was not the best case scenario, was it? We're taking 10, 16, 24. I guess not quite that much if the since the Astolar won't exclusively hit my face.
Power! Our gift of fire empowers us.
Impossible!
For a bunch of words on a screen, chat sure has a bad case of main character syndrome.
Yeah, they sure do. Thank you, Kali, for the super chat. A bit frustrating to lose from that spot, just because like we couldn't hit a charge.
I cannot find eternal rest, and neither will you.
Let your penance begin.
Alright, one day we'll draw Blackrock and roll, right?
Job's done.
You stream on Twitch or YouTube more? Neither. I stream on both platforms about the same. Literally didn't know that was a character in LOL until people started communicating me of playing her. It's also people misreading your name, isn't it? Akali, not Alkali. I love you, Roffle, but sometimes I just wish you would give trolls less attention. Well, there I go again. That is something that is extraordinarily easy to say as somebody who doesn't have to read the messages.
We will feed on this world. We will feed on this world.
There's a lot of cost reduction.
I am not mere words on a screen, I am funny voice.
Thank you, Blanco. Wait, are they just cycling between those two? What are they cooking? It's a good question. Good question. God, I can't actually fully clear this anymore. I actually did that wrong. I could have fully cleared that, but I did it dumb. Oops.
We will feed on this world. We will feed on this world.
Draws your entire deck with Tony. I don't think Tony would be the win condition.
Is not gentle.
But I could be wrong. I also wouldn't generally think Sylvana would be in here either. So. It would appear that I am just wrong. Having 2 instead of 3 make a difference. Depends on how expensive the spells they generate are. But probably. Oh, you don't want my cards, they're warrior cards. I don't have a way to clear this, so with enough time we do just kind of die. I think I need to concede just because, like, I can't sit here and just watch animations turn after turn. This is not a great viewing experience.
I surrender.
I just want to get one combo pulled off. With the, ideally with the charge.
Denathrias versus Illidan.
Feel the hatred of 10,000 years. Let your penance begin.
Keep the buckler with the shatter. Okay, I have some regrets. We are just like completely allergic to drawing the Blackrock, aren't we? Oh good. Can't wait to slam all the opponent's minions. My god. Maybe, I guess we just like slam the token minions, right?
I have given up everything.
Or those.
What have you sacrificed?
So double slam just to cycle. Then probably rip a shatter. Finally got some cycle going. There goes the Stalker game plan. There's the charge at least. Now I just need to find the Blackrock. Not using the Relic Vault on that? Well, I guess they don't want to draw that many cards. You're welcome, Tom.
No force on Azeroth can stop me! Unstoppable!
Molten Giant. Once again, we are nearly halfway through our deck and cannot find the Blackrock. We have found the minions, though, or at least 2 of them. The Demon Hunter ever been the best class or even had a top tier deck in Wild Roffle? Yes, when it was released. I have now very nearly drawn every single minion in my deck. I guess I've drawn half of them, but like every single minion that is easy for me to combo with in this matchup. The Molten Giants are going to be difficult because if I get low enough, I just die. So I really needed the Naga Giants and the Trenchstalkers to be the combo pieces. This is a game where Dead Man's Hand is probably going to be necessary. Unless I just, like, find a Blackrock and roll very soon. I mean, that's 10 damage. 20 if we hit the other giant.
Give them fell!
Ow. Set up for lethal next turn.
shadows grow long.
Give them fell.
Whew. We've done it. All right. I'm about to lose my mind, so I'm going to add Finley to the deck, not because I think he's good, but so that people will stop asking where he is. All right. See if this changes anything. At least it'll make it more likely that we find the Blackrock and roll. Move this from a high roll combo deck into a slower deck with a recruit package would perform worse. I don't know what recruit package would make sense in this deck when we've got battle cries that are part of the combo. Hey, welcome, hobbyists. Ooh, alright, surely we'll draw the Blackrock and roll this game. Maybe you should use card which rebuild deck price tier. I do not know what that means. See, the problem, one of the problems with Finley is, like, and why he wasn't included initially, is if we draw charge with our minions, we cannot play the Finley because then we cannot draw the charge. So it's just like Dead Man's Hand serves the same purpose, but probably better in most cases. Alright, I'll play it here just to try and find the Blackrock.
As you say, I seem to have lost the surface.
I must have more mana.
Well, at least we found the other minions. These are unlikely to be playable anyway, so it's probably just fine that we traded a Naga Giant for a Molten Giant. I think they meant Polkel. Polkel would be horrendous for this deck.
I'll show you who's boss.
Let me hear you make some noise!
Ooh, boy, are we gonna need to do some damage this game. Because it's so slow, or this game is going so long, I think I need to find the, God, I was not expecting that at all. I think I need to find the, Black Rock and Roll before the, Lor'themar.
Thank you for all the great content.
Maybe that's too ambitious. Hey, thank you, Jaden. Appreciate the super chat.
For a master tactician, this is nothing.
Obviously. I want to save the Dead Man's Hand for like the Naga Giants potentially. Unfortunately, again, now the charge is at the bottom of our deck. I suppose we can shuffle. Is this winnable? Yeah. We have more than 80 damage.
Flawless.
Let's just go ahead and cycle this. Cycle that.
Scream for me!
The Trenchstalkers are pretty big, right? Because they go to 16 plus 9, 25? Is this a... yeah.
I'll show you who's boss!
My blade be thirsty.
Your flaws are your strength.
No, we're just dead. It's unfortunate. Pretty good OTK warrior deck, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the good deck, or a good deck.
By fang and claw, let your penance begin.
Fun plus interactive. I knew it! I knew it was only a matter of time before somebody complained about Patron Warrior. In the year of our Lord 2023. Good God. Don't let yourself suffer this much, Roffle. I'm not suffering. What? I'm playing a video game. Don't presume to know what my mood is. Black Rock and Roll should definitely be banned from Wild. From what I can tell, it is, because I never draw it. Patron's even in that deck? Possibly, but either way, like, it's... I don't know. It's like calling Giants Warlock Dark Lair, it's just... Sure. Whatever. You win. You're smarter than me. I give up at this point.
Absolutely not.
Roffle literally smiling and laughing. Chatter, I see you're suffering, yeah. People are just weirdos sometimes, man. We should be able to full clear with the Warpath.
Hey everyone. Get in, hey everyone. Get in.
Thank you, Sirene. Seems like a game where it will be difficult to pull off the combo, but we probably will win.
Hey Roffle, you told that chatter to not presume your mood. According to the psychoanalysis textbook I have from the 1940s, that means that you are of choleric temperament. We need to do bloodletting.
I'll get right on that, thank you. I was just thinking about how much blood I have and how it's probably just way too much, so glad to get a proper diagnosis from chat. Thank you, Colin.
You better watch your step if there's
Okay, we play coin. Play around the ice tarp. And then now we have a way to reduce the Naga Giant even further. Is instrument tech the issue, though? I mean, the instrument tech interaction with Twig Sphere and Druid absolutely is a problem. Like, I think that Twig Sphere was problematic before Instrument Tech, but the issue of Instrument Tech is that it made that interaction, rather than a high roll, just kind of like the norm, which I think is a problem, so I don't know. Breaking up the interaction between those three cards would be beneficial in some way. I think long term, I would rather because again, Twig Sphere has been kind of gross for a while. I think I would rather they just adjust that, because it kind of more future-proofs the format. Alright, now we're cooking. There's a specific reason to wait to play the coin, because it spends 2 mana on nothing. What? It nets me -1 mana at this point. I guess I could have used it there to or something, but it also, like, I don't know. There just isn't really much value in playing it right now.
for me.
Hey Rob.
Hi.
I've been battling with depression for 8 years now. Most days it feels impossible to get out of bed. I found your channel and after watching your videos, I've finally been able to have the strength to end it all. Cheers.
Wait, I really hope that that is not true and I have to remove that. Please, if that is legitimate, there are hotlines available to you. And I would encourage you to call them. If you're joking, that is not something to joke about, but in the United States, 988, it looks like, gives you direct access to a hotline. So, I would encourage you, rather than doing something that is irreversible, to get in contact with an expert. Play this one because I can play these two together next turn. I mean, one thing I will say, I hope that person is okay. I hope it was a joke. But if it is a joke, just do know that super chats are a privilege. And if that kind of joke continues, we will just have to turn it off.
Denathrias versus Tyrande.
Death, lend me your power.
Let your penance begin.
Let's look hard for the Blackrock.
I bring you peace.
Job done.
Alright. Big priest doing big priest things.
Job's done.
We will feed on this
Oh,
well.
not big priest. Okay, on curve.
We will feed on this world.
Light sings.
Oh,
and
I
the
guess we just lose
impure
anyway.
fall.
Need to get some water, so I'll be right back.
Skewer, slice, or slash.
Deny their draw engine.
How to decide?
Solves at least one part of the problem. Never mind.
Light sings, and the impure fall.
Job's done.
Like watching your vids to wind down. Always appreciate the content and a good well met. Smiley face.
Hey, thank you, Ratch. Appreciate that.
This your opponent guy sure plays varied decks.
Yeah, they must have all the cards and be pretty rich. Thank you, Blonde Goat. Okay. We have kind of at least delayed their card draw. Yeah, welcome, Bernardo. Draws them one. They're looking, I imagine, for this. Oh, they played both animate duds.
No force on Azeroth can stop me. Unstoppable.
Alright, we just really want to draw a Naga Giant here. Oh my god, we did it. Oh, what a top deck, finally. It's been 10,000 years. We can finally stop playing Warrior.